Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Today, we're reviewing Love is Blind, episode 4 through 6. And let me tell you, episode 4 through 6 did not disappoint. It started to pick up a little bit. 3 through 4 was a little, 1 through 3 was a little bit, but 4 through 6 started to pick things up just a little bit. For those that are new to the channel, once again, we're reviewing Love is Blind, episodes 4 through 6. And let me introduce you to some of the characters, the main contestants that we've been following through episode 1 through 3. We've been following David. David is torn between Molly and Lauren. He struggled with some past mistakes in relationships. We also been following Mason, right? Mason caught up in a love triangle with Madison and Meg. He's trying to prove himself. We got Madison here. Madison has a strong connection with both Mason and Alex, but needs to make a choice, right? We got Meg, who is cautious, but she's also caught up with Mason, but she wants Mason to be more sincere. We got Devin, who is deeply religious, right? He's been forming a bond with Virginia and Brittany, but struggles with trust, right? Has some trust issues back in the day, and don't know if Virginia can open up. Virginia wants a God-centered relationship, but worried that Devin isn't fully ready and open for that. We also got Ben and Sarah. Sarah is strong intellectually, but has a problem with Ben because he's not woke, right? He's not deep into conversations about what's going on in society, in the world, and they struggle with that. And then we got Daniel and Taylor. Their love seemed perfect, but in the episode 6, some things are revealed. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Love is Blind, episode 4. Here it is, episode 4, Love is Blind. The things start to get real in the pies, right? These contestants have a couple of days. They got a last chance to begin to lock up with somebody or find somebody they want to be engaged to. And so let's take a look at Ben and Sarah. These two have, as I mentioned earlier, they have a strong intellectual and emotional connection with each other. They have a great connection. But in this episode, Sarah brought up a major topic, right? She brought up politics. I told you earlier, when you talk about politics, religion, or sex, it makes or breaks relationships. She revealed that she lived in a conservative household, but she also revealed that as during the situation with George Floyd in Minneapolis, she really became a big proponent of Black Lives Matter. She started not working with them, but became aware of the issues and the situation that's going on in today's society. Ben said he doesn't look at politics. He doesn't watch the news, was not aware of the things that was going on. It's hard for me to believe that a guy who lives in Minnesota, right, lives in Minneapolis, where a lot of these situations were going on, was not aware of what was going on, did not get involved. But she said it's weird. It was weird to Sarah as well. Raise a red flag for her, right? She needs a partner who shares her values, right? She needs to be assured that she has somebody who has an open mind and love people, right? Hey, only time would tell. She was distraught. She went back to the quarters and started talking to one of the ladies about the situation with Ben. I wonder if she can stay strong, right? They got the religious situation, and then they got the situation with controversial issues. So only time will tell. Then we have Mason, Madison, Meg, and they love triangle, and it started to get messy here, right? Mason felt rejected by Madison in the last episode. He suddenly flipped the script, right? He told her, "You've always been in my first choice." He lied to her. Madison has not always been his first choice. Meg was his first choice, but because she was getting ready to drop him to be with Alex, Mason flipped and said, "Look, you're my first choice." Madison wasn't having it. She already made up her mind that she was safer and emotionally more connected with Alex. Meanwhile, Meg, who has a deep emotional bond with Mason, was getting major red flags. She told him straight up, "If you're choosing someone else, just be honest with me." She didn't want to be second fiddle, right? She wanted to be number one. If I'm number one, let me be number one. If I'm number two, tell me I'm number two. But don't pick me because the other girl dumped you. And that's what it was giving. It was giving. Mason decided, hey, look, since Madison dumped me, now I can pick you. He needed to straight up be up with her. We'll see what happens later on with these two, right? Here, another big thing that happened from episode 4. I'm only giving you the key points, not running through all the episode, everything that's going on. But another key point in episode 4 was Devin and Brittany, right? Devin talks to Brittany about his past struggles with medication, right? How his back was hurting to a point where he couldn't walk and couldn't play basketball anymore, and he was addicted to ibuprofen, taking about 20 a day. right? Taking 20 ibuprofens a day. He shared how he emotionally came back when he found God. And went to one more doctor who said they can perform a surgery on him to help his hips and help his legs. And that doctor performed the surgery, and Devin was able to play basketball again. He broke out in tears, right? Deep tears. He was emotionally upset. And Brittany was compassionate and upset with him, right? She was compassionate with him. But then she decided to open up about her own situation, her own become more vulnerable with Devin. She explained that she will love him, that she will care for him. Devin realized that Devin told her he was a deepest religious guy. All right. But she also told him that she had past relationship with women. And I'm not sure if Devin was able to handle that. I'm sure he didn't. He didn't take it well. You can see it all over his face. He didn't want at that time to be with Brittany, right? When she said she used to have a relationship with women, he asked her, like, "Are you done with women? Like, if we get together, is all those feelings gone? Will they be gone? Do I?" Basically, he was like, "Can I trust you to be around your friends?" Because she said she had a lot of friends who were living a lesbian lifestyle. He had concerns, and it wasn't something that he wanted. But that's how they left it off. And she knew he was affected because she expected his answer to be something different. She expected his answer to be like, "Hey, I don't care." He wasn't at that place where he can say he don't care. It will affect. I think it will affect their relationship. I think it will affect how they see each other moving forward. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Devin may break this bad boy off, but we'll see. All right, let's go. Episode number 5, right? In episode number 5, David is still torn, right? David is torn between Molly and Lauren. He is really having a struggle here, right? He gets struggle here. This episode was a lot of heartbreak in this episode, right? David is struggling between Molly and Lauren. He had real feeling for both women, but in the end, he followed his heart and proposed to Lauren, right? Him and Molly met with him and told him, "Look, I understand that you were with Lauren. You told her that you were going to break it off with me, but you didn't break it off with me. If you really want to be with her, be with her." He asked Molly, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "No, I'm not okay. But if that's where your heart is telling you to go, go ahead. I came here. I understand the process. I understand what's going on, right?" Molly took it well, man. She went back and she even talked to Lauren, right? Her and Lauren had a discussion. Molly even apologized. Molly even apologized to Lauren for her past drama. She talked about having some grace under pressure. They got it together, and then Lauren went and met with David, and David popped the question to Lauren, right? Ben finally popped the question to Sarah, and she got past all the for religion and political stuff, and she's gonna go with her heart. Ben finally popped the question to Sarah, and the engagement reveal was so sweet, right? Sarah was all smiles. Ben even joked about eloping right away, but only time will tell. I told you, religion, politics, and sex breaks up relationships. We'll see if Sarah and Ben can make it. But let's say that was the love side, right? But here is the heartbreak side. All right, those are the love things from episode number 5. But some of the heartbreaks here from episode number 5 is this: Devin and Virginia. Brittany breaks it off with Devin. But they break it off with each other. They both felt like it was time to let it go. Especially after she came out that she used to date women. She was almost married. She didn't want to marry a woman, but she was dating women for a couple of years, and then she decided to be with men. So Devin went with Virginia. Virginia kept saying she felt like Devin was emotionally closed off. Devin was emotionally closed off. Devin was telling Virginia that she felt like she was emotionally closed off because she hadn't opened up yet, right? She wasn't opened up. Devin told Virginia the same story that he told Brittany about his situation with painkillers. And she finally opened up, right? Devin kept accusing her of holding back. She finally started to open up about how some of her family members had addictions, how she was able to break free. And it was good to see Virginia in a different light. All right. And that was good for her and Devin, right? Then we had Mason, and Mason tried to make his last-ditch effort to win over Meg. He told her, "You've always been my number one." But we all know that wasn't true. And honestly, she didn't either, right? She didn't believe that she was Mason's number one. And so episode 5 ends with Mason and Meg making the decision. That episode 5 was one of those when you're like, right? But that's what happened in episode 5, where it left us with a cliffhanger. Will Meg say yes to Mason, or will they move on? Here, episode number 6. All the red flags come out here at episode number 6. Episode number 6 to me was the best episode of this, or 3 or 4, 5, and 6. After his desperate plea to Meg, after Mason's desperate plea to Meg shuts him down. She basically said, "I don't believe you," and let him walk away. Just like that, Mason has left the experiment single. Yo, that hurts, right? He went from Madison and Meg, and he messed up both of them. Madison decided to choose Alex, right? He had Meg at his number 2. So when number one left, well, excuse me, had Meg at his number 1, but he decided to go with number 2. And then when number 2 decided to go with Alex, Meg became his number 1 again. And guess what? She doesn't believe Alex. Alex lied. He should have struck the iron while it was hot. Should have struck the fire while the iron was hot. He leaves with nobody, right? Mason is done, right? Then we have we get the official engagements of Devin and Virginia. They had, it was emotional. Devin thanks Virginia for always believing in him. He was excited, right? He was so excited to tell his mom about her. Then he asked her, "Do your dad know about me?" Right? And Virginia was like, "Nah, my dad thinks I'm at a church retreat." Well, her dad's gonna be surprised when she get back home. All right, and he finds out that she has a whole fiance, and they supposed to be getting married. So we'll see how that shapes up. Alex and Madison, right? Madison wanted to be reassured that her and Alex were going to be number 1. She wanted to be reassured that he would fight for her in the future. She wanted to be reassured that Alex will be there. And I mentioned in the last review, there were always some tension there. Alex doesn't want a woman who has all these problems, right? He doesn't want a woman that he can't deal with it. I think I brought the reference up to Miles and Karen, right? From Married at First Sight. Well, Miles told Karen, sometimes I shut down and I just don't know what to do, and I need you to do this way. Well, Alex didn't want to be that Karen, right? Alex didn't want to help Madison when she shut down. And she even shut down in the pods, right? And he like, "What's wrong? What's going on? Can you talk?" And she's like, "I can't express it. I can't talk right now." At the end of the day, they left with nobody. Madison broke down in tears and left the show. She left the show because Alex wasn't given what he was being given. Alex told her he wasn't ready to marry her. After 10 days, and she put all her trust in Alex, and it didn't work out. She could have had Mason, but she made a decision to go with Alex. Sometimes the decisions bite you back in the butt. In this case, it bit Madison in the butt. Her and Alex, she left with nobody, right? Another bombshell from this episode 6, is that Taylor said yes to Daniel. Remember, there was the first couple from when we opened up that liked each other. Daniel challenged with his height, but she said yes to Daniel. When they had to reveal, she talked about his height a little bit. They like each other. They were emotionally in tune with each other. She saw him, and as she saw him, you can see the look on her face like, "I think I might know this guy," right? And she was pretty sure. Then she went back and in the hotel room, and we see a little vignette or a little, I don't know what to call it, video cam or webcam situation where we see Taylor sitting down at the table at the hotel, and said she's pretty sure that Daniel had followed her on Instagram before the show, then unfollowed her. She remembered a picture that he had when he was sitting by a Christmas tree with his legs crossed and a drink. She confronted Daniel. About this. Daniel said, "Nah, I never followed you on Instagram or anything like that." He said, "I do have Christmas pictures up, but it's me sitting by a fireplace. I don't have a drink in my hand." Did Taylor make a mistake? Was that not Daniel? Right? Because her thing is that she on her Instagram, she talks about her liking Taco Bell. She talked about her being religious. She talked about her being a nurse. So a lot of things they talked about in the pod, Daniel could have picked up off her Instagram and could know those things. And so now he knows what she looks like based off the fact that he followed her on Instagram, and it really wasn't true to the process. That means they could have known he knew exactly what she looked like, which is totally against the rules, right? I want you to understand that is totally against the rules. So he might have known, but don't know. And that's how they leave us off on episode number 6 with the cliffhanger. Did Daniel know what Taylor looked like? Right? Did he follow her on Instagram? Did he put 2 and 2 together? Is he that smart? Or is it just a coincidence? The guy who follows you on Instagram weeks before the show happens to be the guy that you fell in love with in the pods. Only time will tell. Hey, but I just want to thank y'all for rocking with us. Hey, leave a comment in the comment section below, right? Let me know what your thoughts were. Will Taylor find proof that Daniel stalked her before the show on Instagram? Are Devin and is Devin and Virginia actually a good match? All right, or where their differences tear them apart? And is Mason really going? Is Mason really gone? Right? Or do we see a comeback for Mason? Sometimes they find other people. I might drop a video. There were other relationships that we had in Love Is Blind that we did not see. Brittany did end up with somebody. So just stay tuned to the next video, and we may show you who Brittany ended up with, and who some other couples that formed from the pods that were not seen on episode 1 through 6 of Love Is Blind. Once again, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, and have a great day. All comments and questions leave below, and I'll make sure again hit the subscribe button and bell notification. Peace.